Hello, welcome to episode 1 of this Age of Wonders 3 playthrough. I haven't done a video in a really long time, but one of the users, CraigAtron, I believe that's how it's pronounced, he started making videos recently, and it got quite a few comments and views on his YouTube channel. I also watched a few there and commented on his videos, and it seems like the game have become a bit popular again. So I was thinking to jump on that train and produce a few videos of my own to see how that goes, and maybe if there is interest I can continue doing that as well. We do play a little bit different, Craig and me. He is, I guess he's a little bit more careful in his approach to the game than I am. Maybe I'm a bit reckless, I don't know. Hard to say by yourself, I guess. But I would like to give it a go to see how it's received. So basically, just a few of the settings. I was thinking to start on a medium-sized map and not go like on a large map and play versus 7 emperors. Not for the first playthrough, at least. So I was thinking 4 or 5, but I think 4 is the max you could do when you play on a medium map. Otherwise it becomes too crowded, and if you play 1 versus 3, I think that you have no chance to basically produce your army at the same time you're getting attacked by 3 players or 3 computers. So I think we will try this and see how it goes. Emperor, square, medium, land, normal game flow, yeah. Advanced, so village, starting unit strong, far few. Just going through this, just checking that it's correct. I did increase the water a little bit and decrease mountains just to make it a little bit more even, so you don't need to play dwarf to be competing. Water, maybe diggable walls and undiggable walls should be a little bit reduced, so that goblins and dwarves doesn't get too much of an advantage. I think that's fine. So so let's do teams, and then we put those 3 together. Always ask advanced rules, normal, standard, few start skills. Defender strength very strong to compensate for the strong starting units. Maximum number of heroes 4. That's 4. I think 3 or 4. Yeah. This is fine. Max is 20. I think I will not reach 20 and in this game, but we will see. So launch. So let's look at the custom ones. Dreadnought human could be interesting. Don't want to play druid. Necromancer, Frostling. That sounds interesting. Yeah, let's try this then. A little bit of a different setup. So it's let's just see here. So we have the Grey Guard Adept, and the reason for that is because they get some good spells. So Essence Harvest, all enemy, Fey, summoned, undead, and creative magical region slain in battle gives you 5 casting points. So that can be really big. Scales of Fortune, of course, to make them 100% more likely to critical damage. Shield of Dispassion. This is really good for a Necromancer. Voluntary Union. Citizens more willing to join your empire. So all of this is kind of good for a Necromancer, I think. So Let's go with that. Just need to be a little bit careful with how many independent units I let go and not let go. So hopefully we can compensate for that with, like, say, getting some vassals and absorbing cities from vassals. That all of that gives good points, so you can still hunt down the independents that want to run away. And then we go for wild magic, the master of wild magic. So in the master you get Pandemonium, which is of course the end spell of this specific specialization. You can read for yourself if you pause. Spontaneous mutation gives 2 mostly positive random mutations to every friendly living unit. Oh. Okay, so this I cannot do that. Okay, so it's more of the wild affinity I was after too, because all hard structures produce an extra 10 casting points, so that's mostly that I was after. Pandemonium will obviously also be good, but to be honest, I didn't read this through when I was thinking about it. Still, we'll try it like this. I was still curious to see how it works. So let's see what units we start with. It's always interesting. While this is generating, the mods I'm using, I will link them in the description. It's a balance mod for PBEM and single player. Chivalrous Intentions, adding a lot more new units. Structure reward variety, meaning that all the sites that can give a unit, so there's more units in that bracket. So for example, if it was a Spring of Life, so there is a set amount of units you can get, and these mods open up that, so that it can be a lot more different units that you can receive. The Mariner mod, which makes it more balanced with swimming embarked units. So if you have an embarked army and one of them is swimming or flying or floating, the embarked units have a problem to keep up with them. So this mod adds a few movement points to embarked units. And then the last one is the new Arsenal mod, which open up like a new tier 3 and a new tier 4 for every race, basically. So if you are interested in those mods, you can click on the links in the description, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions about them. So let's start. So we start here, and we have underground enabled as well. So obviously this map is relatively big. I think it's enough for 4 players at least. So there should be one. Oops, there should be one enemy up here, and then I would guess one here and one here. So that seems to be like four players. So one in each direction, which is fine. Of course, I would have preferred to start in the corner, and then there should be one up there, one there, and one there. But I think since it's a square map, it shouldn't really make too much of a difference. So Carl the Lich, is this the guy? That is, yeah. He starts as undead, which is a big advantage. So that's I will take, even though it would be good for me, I will take another one because it's on the border to cheating, I guess. So let's see what we start with. We start with the Frostling War Mammoth. And wow, he already have killing momentum, devastating charge. This unit is decent. Fearsome, he gets at elite. Demolisher at veteran. Oh, this is a nice start. And then we have the Frostling Ice Queen, which of course is a good unit as well. The Frostling Gotti, haven't heard about this before. Seems like a support unit. Touch of Fate, can use that on my leader at least, for now. Rhyme Fire, Melee Strike, Devote. That's not so good, but for undead. Because of Desecration, the spell that increases all undead's resistance by 3, and then I guess because it's a Devote, it will actually decrease it. So will be interesting to test that later on and see if it gets +3 and also -3, because it's both undead and Devote. And then we have a Frostling Snap-ons, Fire Musket, so it's like a musketeer basically. Seems like, at least. So this Fire Musket doesn't say that it's, because usually it says like it's like on a cooldown, but it seems unit must reload after using this ability. So it's not like a Dreadnought that's automatically recharges by itself. But still, nice unit, can be quite useful, I guess. And a Frostling Boya. So let's have a look at some of the early fights we could do then. So the Djinn. And then 4 Wisps. I guess we could try this battle with all of our units, the first one, before we start to separate ourselves and go in different directions to to scout a little bit. So let's see, this was the guy with killing momentum, so let's see if we can get okay, so let's go there. So that worked out well. The plan was obviously to take out 2 of them, and using the guy with killing momentum to get 1, hopefully not get stunned. See, what was the chance? 45% chance, so close to 50-50, I guess. So let's see what happens now when it's their turn. Okay, so I barely survived with this guy. Okay, I was thinking to maybe to give it to the Ice Queen, because it wasn't that big chance to do so much damage. But I guess you shouldn't complain when you get what you wished for. So let's pick up this the mana. Then we can go there. Seems like a little tent. There is another the population that's always around your start city. So let's go and pick that one up. Just need to be careful that I don't run away too far, so I cannot come back and heal my stacks. So, and you are kind of full health, so you can go a little further. It's a bit more mana. And then here we have a interesting looking enemy, Polar Rider. So, in the balance mode that I was speaking about, you can never start with Whispers of the Fallen in the spellbook. So you need to research something before, and then it might or might not show up. And if it doesn't show up after I research Necromancy 1, for example, then you need to cast Seek Inspiration to get it. The reason is because it's such a good spell that it's unfair if it's available from the start, or actually can start pre-research if you are really lucky. Because obviously when I get it eventually, you will see the massive impact it actually have on the you basically double your research every turn, more sometimes. If you have two armies going in two different directions, and both of them are doing 3 battles per turn, you could easily get over 200 extra research. And most often you will not have 200 research by yourself. So let's get a summon for Lost Souls started, and then I need to remember that we don't have a hero now, so it will cost another 100. So maybe I will just hold off one turn to not rush the Builder's Hall the first turn, because yeah, actually there is no reason to not rush it, so I will rush it because I still have 100. So let's finish the first turn. And one more note about Craig, that is, he's usually doing like 1 hour long video, and I think that's a max you could do, I think. Otherwise the viewers might not watch the whole, and if they cannot watch it full, maybe they're thinking that they will not come back, or they will forget about it and then don't watch it to the end. So I would try to keep it at max at 1 hour as well, and do as many turns as I can before that 1 hour mark. But the manual battles can take a while sometimes. So the second offer is actually for Warlord. Even though she's a goblin, Warlord is extremely good for a necromancer. They have good leader skills, both melee and range, so you can choose which units you want to have with your Warlord and specialize in that. They have very good combat spells, not in terms of damaging combat spells, but in terms of protection or boosting attacks. As I especially like what is it called? Killing Spree, which gives one unit killing momentum, basically. So every time he kills a unit, he replenishes his movements. So if you plan it right, get a killing blow with one unit and it goes into defense, or can actually attack a second unit in the same turn. So it's very good, and it only costs 10 casting points as well. I think the druid have something similar, where you can also get more movement points, but you need to cast it every time. And rogue have quick dash, which works in a similar way. It gives you healing plus more movement. But I think the warlord is a really good leader. Maybe goblin was not the best, but let's take her, and we can see what she have for spells. She have Berserk, Lion's Courage, and Last Stand. So Last Stand is also very good combat spell, and of course Lion Courage, which gives you strong will and 5 strength, is also a good spell for early use. So let's use her in the first battle here. And I guess might as well use this guy in this battle. So here's a nice area for the first settler, with 2 gold mines and a trading post. So let's see here. We have, yeah, this should be a quite straightforward battle, to be honest. Give that touch of fate to Jetta Lee, because I think that she's more at risk than my leader. So let's just try to get this unit 21. So we need a little bit more. Yeah, that will do it. And then I guess it doesn't matter in this tree. Let's go there. And then we might just put her there. And then we will yeah, that they will not go there. That's not gonna happen. So Hmm. So it was a little bit more tricky than I was thinking, but got there in the end. Might as well level this guy up, or let's do it with her then. But I mean, like the fearsome ability, and he gets a lot of health points for every level as well. So we are a bit injured here, but the Frostlings, they are really not happy in the Arctic, so maybe we should on the other hand, I cannot move so much further anyway with my goblin, so might as well take this little rest here and do that battle next turn. So what we can do in here is we can build Embalmer's Guild, I guess. And we can also have a look at some of the units that we will unlock with the new Arsenal mod. So then we need to go to like the Royal Pavilion, which is a new building, of course. And then you can recruit a Frostling Wyvern Rider. So it's like a flying unit, cavalry. Can do the Pledge of Protection, like the what is it called? Frostling Royal Guard. So it's the same, the Pledge of Protection, inflict frostbite, explosive ice, frost weapons. So it's like a cavalry, but it's doing 16 damage. Frost fire weakness, of course, because he's Frostling, and then he will get more because he's also undead. Let's see here. So he gets tireless at elite and armor piercing at veteran. And then we need to look again. So we go to Royal Pavilion, and then the last one is Frozen Temple, which requires Master's Guild and the Frost Castle. So the Frost Castle is the normal tier 3 building that gives the Ice Queen. So you need that, plus you need this pavilion, Royal Pavilion, and you need Master's Guild, and then you can build a Frozen Temple, which leads to the Doom Wolf. Actually, if I just clicked on that, it would have said here. And then you can get the Doom Wolf, which is tier 4, cost 400 gold and 100 mana, have a Frost Breath, melee strike, overwhelm, and then normal, inflict frostbite. Yeah, I said that. And then at veteran, Path of Frost, expert swimming, elite, inflict freezing cold. So very strong unit, of course. We will try to get them, but I'm not sure if we will get there. It takes quite a long time to get all of the buildings for that, of course. So yeah, that was turn number 2. So it is super strong. Defenders need to be a little bit more careful, I guess, in the battles, because they are quite challenging if you not take care. So let's see. Yeah, I didn't heal much at all. I guess because the War Mammoth took all the healing. Yeah, well, let's... Oh, we can get the Lost Soul as well, I guess. So let's try to be a little bit more careful in this battle and not not take so much damage, because it's not so easy with just one healer to heal all the army. Okay, so a few of them are going there. That's perfect for us. Oh, okay, so let's just use a few attacks with my leader, and then we can get that. Well, it's tempting, but let's just stay there and not do anything silly. Yeah, so in the mod they get lesser mighty meek, so they do a little bit more damage against units above their own tier. So for example, if I moved there, he wouldn't get any lesser mighty meek against the Lost Soul because they are on the same tier. Yeah. So actually we could... I was thinking I could cast a spell, but it makes not so much sense. God. Damn. So even though he killed the horseboy, he didn't get any actions back. But I have not so much choice. I need to heal my War Mammoth, but the question is if I can do something before that. This guy. Oh, this guy. Well, at least he cannot shoot again, so I guess I'll just get this guy then. So once more, battle that would take a lot of damage. It's hard. It's so close. This battle looks hard. Rhyme Knight, they have special things, I think. And I did get it on Expert Explosive Ice Death, and then at Elite Devastating Charge, so they can also be quite brutal. They need a few levels first. So, and then this War Mammoth, which I will not try to attack. Wyvern Rider with Pledge of Protection. So, I don't think there is any female units in this one. Pretty sure this is considered a male, not a female. Knight, yeah, well, I guess the knight could be both female and male, but I don't think he can use that Pledge of Protection at least. But that's too hard this battle at this point, I think. Let's take Race Corps, just make life easier in the future. Let's scout a little bit. Okay, so there is a necromantic circle there. Maybe I should go there then and clear that. What was that, a ghast? What do they have for special? Swimming, Devour Corpse. And 2 Skeleton Horsemen. Okay. Okay, so let's take that. Also, the neighboring city is just to the north there. So let's see. So we can meet them next turn. So I guess there is no harm to just prepare another lost soul. What is this here? High Elves. God, this is hard. This game is not so easy as I was hoping. Let's do one more turn. See how long this will take us. I would really like to have the Frostling Mammoth in this battle here, but I need to babysit that guy then. So that's 14, 18, 20. So he can also go up there and still reach there. So we built the Balmer's Guild. I'm thinking about getting one more unit here, because this battle here is gonna be really hard. So maybe we should get like a Frostling Raider maybe. Okay, so we don't see it in the spell book, so maybe we should just... There was not much that opened up in the spell book, to be honest. slightly evil. Hopefully they will offer a quest. Seems like a rather big city. So we found a necromantic circle, and seems like, is that wetlands? Yeah, so let's have a look in this direction. Guess if we go there, we can see what we see next turn. If they put a bandit camp in this place here, through mountains and forests, that would be really harsh. Let's look and see what we can see beyond the bridge next turn. And let's try this battle. I think now is a good time to use some spells. Last Stand, for example. So now I just need to place one unit on that one so that doesn't come back. Then you Oh. So I think that was quite good. He cannot do any damage, can he? No. So it should be safe to... Might as well fire a few shots to try to get some experience on my leader. So that was good battle, hard but good. So let's take that reward. Might give it to the warlord actually. I think she already had martial arts as well. I think I saw that. Yeah. So she's quite strong as it is. So let's give her that. And she leveled up. Let's give her some hit points that she can really need that. And resistance and defense, and that's basically it. Might as well go down into the underground just to see if there is any spawns there. So these 2 units for sure should go up there, and maybe just drop him there. So here we have Frostling Succubus, High Elf Corsair, and 2 Canyon Crawler and a Spider. Of course I will not do that battle now, because they will summon spiders as well each turn, so it's better to wait a bit for that battle. I'll also wait for this till I'm a little bit stronger. Just went up here really to to try to scout a little bit and see if there is a way through without going through mountains, for example. Hopefully they give a quest now. Let's see if they do that as well. And then we'll scout here. Should try to get a settler out as soon as possible as well. Here seems to be a good spot. Frostling Huntress. So it's a pikeman actually. And at elite it gets hurl net, which is quite useful. Have already charged, which is strange but good, I guess. Animal Slayer, Forestry, wow. Really useful things. Well, of course we will accept it. So that suits us good. Seems like there is not much here, and it's starting to become blighted terrain and not... I might just go there to see. Oh, there is a bandit camp. This is working out perfectly, huh? Okay, so let's try this battle. Sea Dog. So this mods, the Chivalrous Intentions, really spice up the amount of units you can get. And like you saw here, like human bandit and human brigand and human sea dog. Never seen them before. So normally when you attack like from two fronts like this, some of the units will actually stay and go to this other way, but it seems like they didn't. So let's just try to force them with the lost soul, and we'll stay a little bit back with this unit here. So I think we did that okay. Let's just a little bit worried about my war mammoth, but he's holding his own. So. A bit back and forward, but I hope it's okay. Okay, so let's see what we can do. So the killing blow with the leader to get some extra experience. Lost, excuse me, Lost Mariner is it's quite good, I guess. Extra unit for this battle here. Let's take it. Now we can send Stab to Jetta. And then we can move in there. And then we have this unit as well. So now we have an army of 10 units to attack these 6 units here. And I think we can start to prepare a settler from this city. So it's just one hour mark now, so it's quite good to call it for this specific episode. I think we've done a good job. In turn 5 we cleared both the Necromantic Circle, and we, by more luck than skill I would say, found the bandit camp that fitted too good to clear the Necromantic Circle. There is haste berries. Okay, we'll take them. Mountains, cannot go through there. Might as well scout a little bit here. And then we stumble upon the scoundrel camp, and at the same time we get a quest for another unit, and we collect 10 units to do this horribly hard fight. It's stuff of dreams. Jokes aside, it was really a good start. Found a cave entrance, just scouted a little bit there, saw that there was a lost library, but nothing else. So we might need to revisit that cave entrance. I just want to scout a little bit. It's always good to do at least 20 hexes in each direction to get an idea of what is there, what can you do, and what path you should take. You see here is a lot of mountains. Hopefully there is not a mountain there. That would be annoying. So then you would know that at least that it's better if it's a floating or swimming army that comes here, so that you can clear the library and then jump in the water and then take the size that we can see here. and that's why I also want to go a little bit further with this guy, just to see if there is something there, because it's not that many hexes, so that I think the roaming armies, it's like 10 or 12 hexes they will cover. I'm not 100% sure about that, but something like that. So if you have, for example, this, I think the camp was just there, yeah. So you can see that that's less than 10 hexes, and this camp as well is also less than 10 hexes, both from my city and that city. So yeah, it might be 10, it might be 12 or something like that. So it's always good to do a good scouting around first. And of course, like if you would like to make like a settler here, then you should really go 10 more hexes up here and check so that there is not an animal camp or something like that. From my experience, they usually don't put spawners so close to each other. So if there was one there, it should not be one in this region here, because it's too harsh on a player to have so many spawns to handle. But yeah, I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, like first good episode. Before we end, might be just seek inspiration as well, so that we don't forget that, because I really want to find Whisper of the Fallen. But thank you for watching. Please leave your feedback in the comments, and let me know if I did something silly or something good, and I will make sure to cover it in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.